Good morning and warm welcome to your English class. Let us welcome the brand new day with a beautiful smile. Today we are going to learn the explanation, line by line explanation of the poetry written by Pablo Neruda. Food from its child. It's written by a Chilean poet, Pablo Neruda. In this poetry, the poet Neruda tried to describe the three stages of human life. Apart from this, you can see that the poet is trying to narrate his experience of the adulthood until its death. It also describes the changes that food undergoes until it becomes an adulthood. So basically, this poetry speaks about the harsh reality of the life, childhood, adulthood, and your old age. And this poetry is a narrative description which speaks about the journey of a child's food until it becomes an adulthood and beyond until it dies. So, one line explanation of this poetry is that the poetry written by Pablo Neruda is a narrative description which speaks about the journey of the child's food until it becomes an adult and its death. Next, let us see the first three lines of the poetry. The child's food is not yet aware it is a food and would be like a butterfly or an apple and would be like to be a butterfly or an apple. So the first two lines, that is stanza, describes the features of child's food. It is an infant's food. When you think about infant food, you know that it is very soft, tender and delicate. And this child's food symbolizes that ignorance or innocence, we can tell, innocence of your childhood, where you are unaware of the realities of the life, and it wishes to be a butterfly. And in your mind a question will arise, why he is using why the food wanted to become a butterfly, not any other insect. So here butterfly symbolizes freedom and beauty of life. So what the child wanted to be or wishes or dreams to have a beautiful life with full freedom. That is the reason instead of a food, the child wishes to become a butterfly. And next, it wishes to become a mango, not an apple. It wishes to become an apple. Why? Not any other fruit. He or the food wishes to become apple. The reason is that there is a biblical reference, or you can see or say that this apple fruit is very beautiful. So this we can say that the child is having an optimistic view of life. So once again I am explaining the first stanza. The child's food wishes to become apple or a butterfly. The reason is that butterfly denotes freedom and the beauty of life, and the apple also shows the beauty. It wanted to enjoy the life. Then next stanza. But in time, stones and bits of glasses, street and ladders, and the path to the rough earth. So next 3 to 16 lines from the poetry is showing that reality of the life. Here, the poet highlights the impact of the time on child. So third line shows that impact of time on child. As an infant foot, it have lot of expectation or a dream about the life. It wanted a colorful life. That is the reason it is opting for a life full of freedom, a beautiful life. In fact, life is not. But we can say that, or we can feel all the human beings are born equal. There is no difference. But you can see that some have ups and downs in life. But one thing is sure in your life, that nothing is easy in your life. Life is not a bed of roses. If you want to live, you have to struggle. The food symbolizes, again I am telling, the harsh realities, that is hardship of life. So as the child's food grows, it experiences pain, or it is find it difficult to accept the reality of life, because it wished that life as something else. The first day of the school or college, you wished it to be something else, correct? You thought that you will have full freedom, enjoying, having fun with your friends. As the days goes on, you will understand that there are a lot of pressure on your studies, completion of portion, everything. So it is not that easy or easy to undergo all this. The same way, the food felt that life on earth is very easy, but it is not so. As the age increases, it has to undergo lot of reality. So stones and bits of glasses shows that the hardship in the life. Street and ladders, the path in the rough terrain, earth. So if you want to live in the earth, life is not that easy. And the food, same way, people when you expose to reality, you will understand that life is not that easy. It realizes that it can neither fly like a butterfly nor become a bulged apple on a branch of the tree. Here, as the days go on, when it reaches the second stage after the childhood, the maturity age, it realizes that you cannot be, life is not that easy. It is not that easy what you thought. So it realizes that it cannot become a butterfly nor become a bulged apple on a branch of tree. Bulged apple shows the hardship of life. The child's foot has now discovered that that only hardship. So it loses its or spirits, or it becomes it finds it very difficult to cope up in the world, and it feels that it is a prisoner and condemned to live in a shoe. You can is a metaphor. We can say that it's the realities or hardship of life or societal norms and regulation. It also means that child spirit become aware of its limitation. As the days grows, the ignorance is gone. Now it is innocence is gone, and it is the child is able to understand that as a human being it have lot of limitation, and understand its role as a social being in human society. If you want to live in a society, even though our country is a free country, we have limitation. If you want to live in the society, there are lots of don'ts. That is, no, there are limitation in our society. So 3 to 16 line shows that reality of a reality in life. The first two lines shows the innocence, its dream. As the days goes, the foot is realizing the harsh reality that life on earth is not that easy. Now having been in prison, now you are born, you cannot escape, you cannot escape from this world until you until your death day. So it is alone and cannot communicate with its others, and groups blindly in the dark like a blind man. Now the shoe is being the foot is being inside the shoe. He felt that it is like a blind man groping in the dark and no one to communicate. And one more thing is that foot is not open, and whatever ideas it from the about others' life are formed in confined space of shoe. That means you cannot compare your life with other. Everybody have their own problems. Here it means that it is not in touch with the real reality. That means when you look into other person's life, you feel that it is good. That is not the reality. The society decide what it should understand about life or the world outside. For example, if you take the life of celebrity, we can see that all they are living in the glamorous world, but in fact they have their own limitation. They don't have their personal space. The same way as a human being, if you are born as a human being, you have lot of problems, and success of a human person lies where he is able to climb up the ladders by overcoming the obstacle. And gradually when you come the worst part of the student life, the examination, but one day or the other day you have to face it, and you are ready to face your examination. The same way the foot is adapting, getting used with the problem, and it's trying to cope up with the realities of life. The third stages, that is maturity. So line 17 to 46 says that a graphical description, that is a change in the child's life duration from the childhood full of innocence. The second one, reality, then maturity. Now it is matured enough to understand that it is not a butterfly nor an apple, it's just a foot. The soft nail of cords in the child's foot grows gradually hard and change themselves into opaque, means a transparent subject, hard as horn. And once the maturity reaches, that is, it is ready to face any problems in the life. It is made up its mind that I am a foot, I have to take up the challenges in the life. And here you can see that hard horn represent the cruel nature of the human being. An eyeless reptile. Sometimes the human beings are very selfish. They don't see the other's problem or limitation, and as the days go on, it becomes harder and harder, and and it is trying to gain confidence, strength and optimism to live on, because there is no other alternative. In the stanza, the poet attempts to let the reader to know that child grows into adult and become less open to reality. It started accepting the reality, and people grow harder both physically and emotionally. And the phrase faint volcanoes suggests that death, after undergoing the challenges in life, what is the final reality? Yes, it is the ultimate reality, is the death. Thus we find the child's foot was now be transformed from a beautiful form into a wrapped and ugly one. Now you see that the child with lot of difficulty has come out from his innocence and tried to accept the reality and try to adapt to the situation. Now the ultimate reality of death, that is, and the death, one way the poet tells that it is a consolation, that is, whatever dream you couldn't fulfill, maybe after death you can fulfill. The poet then described the journey of an adulthood until the death. So in this poetry, the poet Neruda is trying to describe the journey until your death. It is now like an eyeless reptile, hence he has blind thing. So eyeless reptile, a triangular opaque subject that shows that it doesn't know, that is bit by bit grow in the darkness, that shows in ignorance. You will start interpreting your life in your own way as per your circumstance and your circumstance. A blind man cannot describe the beauty of color because he is blind. So in each person will interpret your life according to your experience. Shoe represent the harsh reality. Courts represent the difficulties of difficulties in in your life. But the journey of the food continues, and it tries to adapt the way of life, that is it is now is capable of enjoying and find like difficulty in walking every way of life. That means the food is ready to work hard, walking in the the as a you the in spite of the caste and creed, or if the gender difference, both human being, if you are born as a man or a woman, you have to work hard. Nobody is excused from this. So you have to work hard. Hard work. Toil means hard work, either in the market or in the mines or the ministry. All those who are born on the earth have different vocation. You may be working as a teacher, some as engineers, scholars, some as day laborer. All have problems in their life. Every person toil in their own way, day and night. And you don't find to enjoy the life or pleasures of life and or sleep. It works without respect. Respect means without stopping, non-stop, just like a clock. 24 hours it keeps working. That is its duty. The same way, when you are born until your death, you will be working. And finally, what is the end of the story? The death is the end of your story. But after that, after the death, the adulthood gets buried. Yes, after that, of great difficulties and overcoming all the problems, finally you will be comforted. It goes down into the underground. It finds everything dark there. After the death, what happens? You will be buried. It doesn't know that it is dead, has ceased to be a food. After the death, what happened? We don't know what is happening in the next world. When the food dies and is buried, its consciousness is like childlike again. Again, what happens once it is buried in the coffin? It is again in the first stage of innocence. Therefore, the food revisits the possibility of flying like a butterfly or becoming an apple. So the process go on. Out of innocence, the child again wishes to become an apple or a butterfly. Here it means that people consider the possibility of afterlife. So here he is telling that the reality of life, after the death also there is a life. To sum up, the freedom of the childhood is lost when a person become adult. So here the poet is telling that when you are ignorant in your childhood, you have freedom, but the freedom and the beauty of life is lost when you become an adult and is exposed to a life of constant work. Once you reach your adulthood, you have to work hard, understood, without any stop or without taking any rest. And one's life and this life in society take away people's free spirit until they are freed again by death. So if you wanted to escape from all this problem, from the restriction of the society, the ultimate freedom when you gain is the death. The human promise is not fulfilled by those whom society enslaves and mistreats. So the poet imagines that the naked foot of the boy, the innocent still of the habitation of society, does not know that it is a foot or a butterfly or an apple. So the poet is trying to tell that actually the society doesn't know what the man needs, what the foot needs. Understood? The poet imagines the naked foot of a boy are innocent still for the habitation, and once you become an adult, what happened? You continue the same with the others, and you wishes to become, you try to achieve your goals and become successful person in your life. It is part and parcel. All the harsh realities and problems in life is a part and parcel. Only through a long process of denial of embodied natures, beginning with the simple act of wearing shoe, thus deny the contact with the earth, does the boy become a man. However, upon being buried, he still does not know if he will fly or become an apple. So last stanza says that, see, if you are born as a boy or a human life, if you have a human life on earth, definitely you have to overcome all the hardship in the life. And after the death, we don't know, and there is no end of man's hope and imagination, and the hope will keep us going. That's what poet is trying to tell, that you will long for something which you are not, but poet appreciate the quality of human being, that is confidence, strength and optimistic view. Even there is no possibility in the life, it tried to become more optimistic and look at the life in a positive manner. I hope this lesson was a question or an answer to your problems in the life. Why am I having all these difficulties? Why only me? Now I hope that you got the answer for that question. It is not I and you. If you are born as a human on this earth, we all have to walk to the untrodden path and overcome the difficulties of life. That is the destiny. So thank you. Have a spirit-filled day and be optimistic.